All right. Welcome, everyone. We are going to stop let's see. Can I stop my video? And then screen share my Okay. I think we should be good. So hopefully everybody can see me, everybody can hear me. Let me double check. Here we go. There we go. From the beginning. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully everybody can see and hear me. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. This is the Enrollment Masters presented with the Freedom Catalyst. I am Tyler Watson, and this is how I made $225,000 in a weekend with only 30 people in the room. Yes, this really did happen, and it happens more often than you'd think, and you can do it too. Hopefully by the end of this presentation you'll think that and you can see that, and it's not as hard as we make it out to be. So let's we're going to go through this really fast. I have a ton of slides that I'm going to go over. Usually I don't use slides, so we're just testing something new. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully you get to take a lot of notes. You might take a pen, take a paper, maybe a phone to take some screenshots, because we're going to go pretty quick. So I promise to use this to help people in the event space. I believe that it is one of the most vulnerable spaces, yet one of the most powerful spaces that you can be in, because that's where people come and they share and they get real and they can get real results. So earning disclaimers. You may or may not make $225,000 at your first event. I can't really guarantee that. I just do what I do and say, hey, this works for us. It's worked for some other people, and you can try it too. So when I first did this, I just wanted to pay for my education. You know, doing events, I wanted to pay for my family's bills and to get educated. And let me ask you this. What if you could double your yearly income in just 3 days? I did that, and it totally changed how I think and feel about money, about people, about life, about everything. And then repeat that multiple times per year. Now we do about 10 events per year, earning 4 to 6 figures each. Do we make that at every event? Absolutely not. Sometimes we do an event and we have nothing, very little enrollments. Yet others will make very successful enrollments. So it's just like anything, you know, you do this. It's not like 100% of the time you're going to be on your game and do everything just right and make millions in a weekend. You may or may not do that, but this is something that I hope that you can take and take for you. So here's my goal. Number 1, make a lot of money for the right reason. Number 2, serve a lot of people. Number 3, live on a higher plane. Number 4, make a positive impact. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to give you an opportunity to get our actual outline, the exact outline that we used at our $225,000 event. And the ones that so I just did an event last week where we have a couple more conversations, but it'll generate about $45,000 to $55,000. And it took us a total of $1,100 to run. So pretty cool experiences. And all the people are super happy for investing. It's life-changing for them. So let's talk about events. Number 1, you got to have a gathering of people. Number 2, you got to have you can do one or more presenters. There's the style where you have a lot of presenters come and speak, which was what we did last week. And there's the style of what I'm used to, which is I just go and share for 4 days and teach, right? So there's different ones. Primarily for the purpose of learning, not being sold to. Okay, you got to have that down. And we're going to dive into that more and more. So for any kind of business, you can do an event. You can have a brick and mortar business. Not very many use it, which is sad because it can impact so many more people. Services, products, MLMs and direct sales. Holy cow. Anyone in here that does an MLM or direct sale, if you're not doing events, you need to. You need to put on your own event because that's going to get you the biggest momentum and the biggest transformation. Coaches, speakers, thought leaders, also chiropractors. We do a lot with them. And then financial, like, what is it called? People who do investments, investment coaches. Investment coaches, I work with many of those, and some of them do their own events. Those who do get a lot more results. So here's a picture of me 2 years ago. This is me, my beautiful wife, my little girl. Now we actually have 2 little girls, and I do look like I'm 21, and I'll show you, I'll do a video of me here in a second, here in a few minutes or something. But I do look very young. My family is amazing. I have a 3-year-old, she's now 3, and a 9-month-old little girl. So a little bit more about myself. I've been all over the world. I've spoken for and with Ted McGrath, Les Brown, spoke for them in Canada, and I been with Tony Robbins at Success Resources, spoken on stages with just all sorts of cool people and all over the country, from here to Canada, Singapore. I've got a cool book. It is a #1 Amazon bestseller, not to be confused with international bestseller, slightly different, but it is a pretty dang good book if you haven't read it. This actually, the things that are found in here, you will want to have as a foundation to doing events, because if you don't have the enrollment down, you'll put on an event and you'll bomb it because you'll have negative, weird feelings around sales. Here's some just some of our clients, some of their successes. We've had Eric, Dr. Eric. We just finished a session with him getting alignment. He made an additional 12 grand in 2 days just by getting aligned with his goals, which is kind of not the skill set, but the alignment part. Pedro made $12,000 in a week, sold 6 $2,000 programs after not valuing himself, selling $40 sessions. John Gunzel, he is an amazing relationship coach, and he is now doing $100,000 coaching programs now. Melissa Egerton, she's amazing. She's made lots of money and lots of impact. So many cool people, we've taught. Cindy, Larry, and Kyle, they outsold their corporate trainers, and just so many cool people who have made money doing what they love, and all who didn't have success. This is what I used to look like. I'm not too different today. That's me getting my goals, right? I love getting goals. Hopefully you like getting goals, because by the time you're done today, you should have a plan to get some epic goals doing your presentations. That's me. I'm goofy. I love having fun. If you don't like having fun, events are probably not the best thing. This is my wife when she was little younger. She taught and facilitated events for 9 years, teaching youth, and she helped me learn some of the things that I'll be teaching you today. So like I said, been all over the place. So what did I do before I got these kinds of results? Now in the past 3 years, we've generated we'll be hitting $1 million this month, generating income through events, one-on-one coaching, and not working it too hard, because I'm a family guy. I like to be at home and staying with the kids. And so when I first started, though, I went out, knocked on 26 different doors, trying to make things work. Nothing worked. I failed over and over and over. I heard a CD by Jim Rohn, and he said, go talk to 10 people, get 1. So I went, talked to 10, got 0. Talked to another 10, got 0. Talked to another 6, and gave up. Because I was frustrated, and I couldn't enroll anybody. So I figured, hey, maybe I should run an event, right? And then I remembered, well, you actually have to get people to the event. So my first event, you got to learn how to do it the easy way. My first event, let me show you this. If you can see it, my first event was called Let It Go. This was in Branson, Missouri, and I put it on the radio. I like marketed it to the whole town. And I had a whopping, actually not bad show. I had about 20 people there, and I made a total of $0. And yes, it was probably not the most fun, but it was all about letting go of emotions. And the movie Frozen just came out, so I thought, you gotta let go of your emotions. I'm gonna put on an epic event. It's gonna be filled, and people are just gonna pay me all the money. And then we did other things like, change your body language, change your life, and did this, which here's our old flyers, right? We would post these all over and do it old school style. So I'm going to teach you a lot easier methods that work, that you don't have to knock doors, get rejected over and over. It does require you to talk to people, but in a precise and clear way, okay? So, all right, moving on. Here's the 3 things you're going to get out of today. 3 secrets of event masters. Secret number 1. This I am going to repeat. Now, my logical friends are going to deny that this is the most important. And I am going to deny your denial, because secret number 1, the most important part of the event, happens before it starts. 9 out of 10 people skip this step. And then they wonder why. Like, I put on this event. Like, I even went to an event, helped a guy put it on. He had 60, 70 people in. No one enrolled. Why? Because this step was missed. You have to get centered on who you are. And I'm going to go into depth on all these, but you have to take care of yourself, because you are the biggest marketing piece to your business. You are the walking billboard. So if you're a walking mess, you're going to portray mess. But if you have put yourself somewhat together and you believe in yourself and you believe in others, that's all that it takes. Secret number 2, the best events come from audience-centered experiences and not perfect presentations. I just had an event that I rolled out last week, and several people had a very perfect presentation. It was done like it should have been. And I wanted to throw up. I was like, this is not real. This is called acting. This is putting on something to it. You can't act it out. You need to be real with who you are and give people experiences. Give people experiences. Number 3, if you've done your groundwork, you've got to invite people to take action on your products and services. And it's the easiest and most fun part of the event. So how to enroll without stress or feeling pushy. So if you guys would like to listen to this, stick around, because the next 45 minutes, we're going to go over all these secrets. They all have some steps to it. At the end, again, if you stick around, I'll share with you how you can get our templates, how you can get some of the skills that I had to learn and get an actual conversation with me to take this to the next level. So let's move on. Secret number 1, the most important part of the event happens before it starts. Let's talk about this. So it's all in the prep work. What kind of prep work do you need to do before an event? Well, here's one, is you've got to get the right people to the event. So how do you do that? Well, let me go into this philosophy first. So is it better to have 100 people in the room or 15? Now the answer is yes. It just depends. If you have 100 of the right people in the room, well, then that's better than 15. But if you have 15 of the right people, that's more effective than 100 of the wrong people. I go to a lot of events where there's 100 of the wrong people in the room. And then they wonder, why didn't my event work? Well, it was because you didn't get the right people to the room. So you don't need hundreds of people. You just need the right people. And here's the right people. Number 1, they already know you or your stuff, right? They're already raving fans. They're like, Tyler, you're amazing. You helped me change my life. Thank you. Or they've already purchased something from you, right? They fit your ideal demographic. They have some money, or they're willing to invest, and they're invited by someone who already knows you. So those are the right people. The wrong type of people, they are just there to fill seats. They're free. They're get people into the room, and they don't even know what the event's about, and they're not your ideal demographic. So a lot of people give out free tickets. They say, come on, just fill the seats. If I can fill it, the numbers will say, yeah, but it throws off your numbers. If you have 100 people in the room that's not the right people, so what if you convert 10%, that's really low in an event space. And I would rather have 15 people in the room and convert 75%, right? At a higher level. So get the right people in the room. How to find the right people. Number one, you got to know your audience. Who's your audience? Who are you helping? What is the message that you're going to share? I'm not going to teach you anything super new throughout these principles, but I do want it to apply to what you're doing, because if you haven't created a 6 or a 5-figure event, then you're not hitting these principles. And so, I don't expect you to be like, mind blown. Whoa, Tyler, you just told me something I didn't know. People don't lack knowledge. They lack implementation and courage. People don't lack knowledge. They lack implementation and courage. So hopefully you get some courage and you can implement some of these things. Know your message, which is knowing your audience as well. And then networking, huge way. I teach a process called the power networking process. This is how to go to any networking event. And this is how I filled my first event. My first 3-day event, right? I made, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'll jump and tell you that story in a minute. So what if I'm just starting out, right? Well, do you know people? Do you have Facebook friends? If not, you can make friends easy to stay. You just hit add friend. And you start to get to know people, right? Now, do you know people in your target audience? That's even better. Or do you know people who know people in your target audience? Well, call them up. It's that simple. But Tyler, what if I hate calling people? What if it feels salesy? Yes, there are scripts. Yes, there are methodologies that are easier, like diffusing the objections before getting on the phone call, visualizing it work out before you even call someone, experiencing the joy of conversation, writing out your story about how amazing it is for people to talk to you. Like, those are all processes, but all the process in the world leads you to one thing. That's having confidence. Have confidence. Know that what you do matters. And if so, call people up, because they probably have been praying, wishing and hoping that you or someone will help get them out of their problems. And if you don't act because of your fear, then you are being very selfish-centered. You're not serving them at the highest level. So call them up. Sales is service. That's all it is. Step number 2, create the space. So this is still how to fill the event, right? Create the space. And I'm not just talking about the physical space. Here's the process that I do with all my events. Now, visualization, what does that mean? Well, I liken it to, I like a book called The Eye of Faith. And I thought I knew how to visualize till I learned about 21 different ways of visualization and all the pieces of visualization. So when I say visualization, my definition of visualization isn't just sit in a corner, think about it for 2 minutes, think negative thoughts, get up and go do something else. No, this is a process of becoming. This is actually seeing your event, seeing the interaction of how people interact with you, the joy on their face, how you feel standing. You can feel the weight as you're standing in front of the group. You sense it and you experience it before it happens. Number 2, clear out old patterns. If you have enough evidence to say you can't succeed, it's not going to happen, you've tried it, or other people you've seen who ran successful events, they're sleazy or they're salesy or they hurt people, then you have evidence built up that's going to take you out of the game. And you've got to clear that junk. Get rid of those old patterns. Yes, there's lots of techniques and tools, and I'll even share with you a cool tool later at the end how to do that. But there's a lot of different tools. The goal is eliminate the old patterns, the old evidence, create new evidence. See the end from the beginning. See the end from the beginning. What does that mean? Well, it means, can I see people walking into my event? Can I see people bringing friends to my event? Can I see people just ecstatic as they go through the 3 days? Can I see people ecstatic as they go through the offer, as they stand up, as they enroll with me for $65,000 or $35,000 or $5,000 or $2,000? Can I see it? Can I feel it? Can I sense it? And is it real? Does my entire being believe it? Now, some of you might say, Tyler, that's woo-woo. That doesn't make sense. Like, just get to the meat. Well, this is the meat. I can give you the structure and strategy, which I'll share some pieces on, but if you don't have this piece down, You can do all the right things. I've seen people invest $30,000 in running an event and make nothing because this was off. I believe that we are emotional and spiritual beings in physical bodies. So when you create a physical thing, it has an emotional and spiritual aspect to it. If you're not in alignment with that, you are not going to get the same results. So you have to align with that. Now, I helped one guy just align with his goals, and this is what he texted me. Hopefully you can see this. He texted me, he's like, "Hey, Tyler, you're a true genius. Thanks to your teachings, I went from 20K a month to 125K a month. I love you, bro." And so I was like, boom, can I get that in a video recording? I love to use that as testimonial. And it doesn't show it on here, but down below, he's like, "You're the best 15-year-old ever." And I was like, I know, right? I do look like I'm 15. But that was simply from getting in alignment, aligning. I didn't teach him any skills. This was just alignment. Now, skills are important, especially if you're going to run an event. You do need to be skilled at it. Secret number 2, I think this actually should be secret number 3. The most impactful, oh no, this is secret number 2. We're right. So secret number 2, the most impactful and income-producing events come from audience-centered experiences. Audience-centered experience. What's an audience-centered experience? Well, here's what is not an audience-centered experience. What is not an audience-centered experience is a presentation that just the person talks and talks and talks while the people sit there, and there's no feedback, no questions, no interaction, no simulations, no processes, right? And so you've got to help the people come alive. It's also not one where the person talks monotone and they talk about all the science that has been proven that is amazing because they're a scientist and not a presenter. And I believe that all scientists can be presenters, and if they did, people would actually believe more because they would make science fun, right? So it's not monotone, it's not dull and boring. It's something that stimulates in all learning areas. Now, how many think that this is what you have to do to have a successful event? I'm not going to read all these, but these are all the things that I see and I've had. You've got to have your business cards. It takes $10,000 to create an event, or you got to have these Toastmaster trainings or published book. That's a big one. Tyler, once I have my book, then I'll run an event. Or once I have my course done, then I'll run an event. Or, man, I just don't have enough money to run an event. And I say, if you don't have enough money, run an event. I ran my first 3-day event with less than $600 in my account. We moved, we dropped some income because I moved and had a baby, and I didn't have any money. And the next time I did, it worked out great. I'll share some of the results. So do you ever feel like this sometimes? Oh, it's like, it seems so daunting. Like you have to be known, you have to have perfection in body language and outfits. Well, if you ever come to mind, I'm dressed like a normal kid, right? And I look like a normal kid, but I create experiences that people never forget, and they actually get results. So can you deliver results? Can you help people? And if so, you don't have to worry. Put on an event. It's going to be awesome. Or are you worried about this, where everybody's just like snoozing and they fall asleep? I have been to so many amazing presentations, and I say that in my most sarcastic way, where by the time you're done, you're like, please just let me go take a nap, right? That is not transformation. That's sleep deprivation. You're depriving them from the sleep that they deserve to have because you stink at presenting. So be sure, and if you're worried about any of this, there's hope. My first event, I bombed. It was my first 1-day event. Now, my first 3-day event, it made it very, very successful. And I'll share with you that solution. This is what you have to do. You have to make the audience the star. Yeah, it's not that hard, really. How do you do that? Well, there's a lot of processes, and I'm not going to talk to them all, but it's about every 2 or 3, 4 minutes, creating state changes, changing it up, asking questions, having them do group work, having them talk to one another, having them discuss it, group shares, partner shares, and then simulations. you need simulations in your event. I love simulations. What a simulation is something that you do to help people or groups of people have paradigm shifts. Paradigm shifts. So Stephen Covey uses that word, paradigm shifts. And what is a paradigm? It's a philosophy of thinking, and it's an innate way of doing something. So if you have a paradigm shift of money, let's say you're broke and you never have enough. You have a paradigm shift where all of a sudden you see the abundance in it, and now you do have enough. That's a paradigm shift. Here is our magic formula for events. So this is something you really want to take notes on, because this is something I just took a client through, and she's going to do a presentation. She said, Tyler, can you help me? Well, guess what I did? Within 15 minutes, we mapped out her entire presentation, how to make it epic, where people convert and work with her that are meant to work with her. My first 3-day event produced $12,500 in 3 days with only 8 people in the room. 8 people. And they weren't super qualified. They didn't have tons of money. And in fact, most of them were guests from the people who couldn't make it. So this is how I felt it. I had moved to a new town. We just had a baby 2 weeks before. Had a baby, recently moved that month, and I had less than $800 in my bank account. It was like 600, I think, or so. And I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was stepping into this place of abundance, and now, I have to do something. So I put on an event, and within that event, boom, manifested and made as much as I made the year before in 3 days. So that's pretty cool. Now, step number 1 here, if you want to make the most incredible event or presentation or book or anything that you're teaching, number 1, ask yourself, what's the goal? What's the outcome for your audience? What do they think, feel, do because of the event? What is the outcome for you? How much money, how many enrollments? And that needs to be clearly defined and focused on. You've got to believe that that's possible. If you set the goal and you don't believe it, you're probably right. It's not going to happen. But if you set that goal and you align yourself with that goal, you will manifest it. And here's how. By doing step number 2, you create and you write out, okay, what are the emotions that I want to evoke in my audience? Is this a fun event? Is this a serious event? Do I want to evoke wanting more? Do I want to evoke passion? Do I want to evoke sadness? Do I want to evoke pondering or change? Do I want to evoke ready or committed? Or what types of emotions or action words do you want to evoke in the people? So after you have the goal, then you write out all these emotions. And the third step is to write down all the ideas to give the experiences. So what kind of experiences can I create? This is the question that you ask yourself, so that my audience feels these emotions I outlined. Simulations, what stories do I tell? What hands-on experiences, group interactions, principles, new ideas, state changes, products or services that I need to incorporate, other people. And what you're going to do is, as you write down the emotions, you should draw a line from all of these experiences to the emotions, so that every simulation, story, hands-on experience is tied to an exact emotion that you want to evoke. So let's say, for example, in our 4-day event, one of the things I want to evoke is vulnerability. I want to evoke vulnerability. I want to evoke power. I want to evoke true transformation. I want to evoke hope, feeling like you can do it, right? So all these emotions. So then I said, okay, what do I need to do to get this? So I said, oh, well, at our 4-day event, Connect, Master the One-to-One, I said, okay, what's an experience that I can take someone through to give them hope, to see that they can do something, to get them out of their old paradigms? And I created what's called the penny simulation. For anyone who's been through that, we had somebody go through it, took their results. It's crazy. Talk about major change. We had someone go through just that experience, and she'd been making $15,000 the year before. Stay at home, fixing to go on food stamps, single mom, went through the penny experience at our 4-day event. And the next month, by implementing what she taught, she made $40,000. That was huge. I was like, yes. And the coolest thing is she said, I'm taking my boys to Legoland. Taking them to Legoland. So what story simulations do you need to create to evoke those emotions? The fourth and final piece is after you have all that groundwork, then write down the outline. How do I introduce the event so that they feel welcome? What's the natural flow? How do I conclude it? And make it completely outlined. So again, this works for all kinds of businesses. We do have a cheat sheet for you. Here's our actual event outline, right? So it's like broken into 4 days. Day 1, message and networking. Theme each day. So each day should have a theme. You should have an overall theme of your event. And then through this, start mapping it out. So registration, introduction. In the intro, you have the introduction, name, title, welcome. I like to deliver the mission statement, so it gives people the vision of what they're doing. And then I go in and introduce myself. I go through a 10-step series. So I'll introduce myself. I'll share, I'll get them 2 engaging questions or a poem or something that's funny, but something to change up the energy. And then you'll want, then after that, I do what's called what's in it for them, right? So I share what's in it for them and I say, here's what you're gonna learn this week. Now here's about me, earn the right. You have to toot your horn here. This is where in the beginning of this event or at the beginning of this webinar, right? I had to say, here's all the cool things I've done. We've made over almost $1 million in 3 years. We've been on stages. We've done all these cool things because people ask themselves, is this real? Like, can I do this? And I'm from Arkansas. I was raised, like my mom went through 4 divorces. My dad went through 2. And I had the deep belief inside of me that everything had to be a struggle. I was afraid of success and I was afraid of failure. So what did I do? I didn't do anything. It paralyzed me. That's why I knocked on 26 doors and got rejection after rejection after rejection. And it wasn't until I was able to apply these principles and see things and feel things and experience it and learn the skill set that I started to get momentum. And I wasn't, I didn't have an amazing multi-million-dollar background. We were a very normal family. Well, if you see my brothers and me interact, you might not think we're normal, but we're pretty normal, right? So again, these are the outlines, and you just go through and outline everything. Now, I can share with you how you get that whole template and then how to do it for your own business. But let's keep going. Hopefully this isn't too fast. Everyone just take a breath and think to yourself, I can do this. This is easy. Like, I can do that. That's easy, right? That was my mentality. Anytime I went to an event and I saw someone make 6 figures, I thought to myself, this is easy. I can do that too. This is easy. I can do that too. This is easy. I can do that too. It's a philosophy to take on. Secret number 3, if you've done your groundwork, inviting people to take action on your products or services is the easiest. What's the word? Easiest, not hardest, not most difficult, not terrifying, not paralyzing, but easiest and most fun part of the event. It should be the thing you look forward to the most. And to enroll them without feeling stressful or pushy. It should be totally chill. You just sit back, invite to change, and those who do, do. Now, if they've been having experiences and they feel like it's really about them, and you're honest, you've shared your core story, you've earned the right, you've taken them through some powerful processes, then that is true because it comes down to this. Do you care about them? Do you love them enough to ask them to move forward? I used to want to give away. And I realized if I gave away too much, there would be nothing left to give. So I realized if I want to give more, I actually have to have more to give. So as I started to adapt that philosophy, it became really powerful. And I said, do I love someone enough to charge them what they are worth? Play around with that thought. Do I love someone enough to charge them what they are worth? I didn't believe back then that I was worth anything. And it took someone with courage, someone who had been through it themselves, to look me in the eyes and say, you're worth it. Do what it takes. Get enrolled. I'll go on this journey with you. And I did. And it was life-changing. I'm so grateful for that experience. that someone loved me enough to charge me for what I was worth. And it, back then it was like $35,000 for some of the things I invested in and $100,000 for another. So it was crazy, but it was worth it, worth every penny. No one else has your background or experiences. No one else cares as much about this product or service as you. No one will show up for them the way you will. You are your own unique person. You have your own stories, your own message to share. So even if someone's doing the same thing as you, the same product, same service, it's up to you to say, I am valued because of who I am, how I treat people, how I show up for people. And that, as fluffy as that sounds, is the basis of all lasting business. Is, do you care about the people? You are inviting them to a life transformation, and it's so powerful. So all you need to do, again, for a review, number 1, create the space. Number 2, design experiences. And number 3, care about people. Now, the 3 secrets to do a review. Number 1, most important thing is what? Is before it starts. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you experience it before it happens? And fill that event. Number 2, the best events are from experiential, not just through logic and here's how-tos, but through experiential. Now, yes, you need the logic. That way they believe it, but you do need experiential and transformational processes. Secret number 3, once you've done your groundwork inviting people, then the offer is key. Now, in the offer, I didn't go over this, but the offer is very simple. And essentially, you're going to want to have low tier, middle tier, and high tier programs. And in those tiers, when you're delivering your offer, you're simply going to weave in what's called your core story, client testimonials, and then deliver the offer, several calls to action. The biggest problem I see, only one call to action. What's a call to action? Well, it says, hey, sign up, and this is why. If you're thinking about this, sign up. If you're doing this, sign up. I'll actually go over here in a second a bunch of ways to diffuse things that people think and keeps them stuck. So it's called multiple calls to action. And then after you're done with the second or third call to action, another story. You can do a regret story and then another call to action. I lead people to conversations. That is the most effective for me. You share the value, the price, all those pieces, and then lead them to a conversation. And in the conversation, you go over all the specifics and finances. Okay. So that's a very, very fast overview of an offer. We do have a whole template on that if you guys need extra help. And I'll share with you how you can reach out to us. So let me ask you a question. If hopefully it doesn't feel like this, because I've been going pretty fast on this. I just want you guys to breathe, and hopefully you can say, this is easy. I can do it. This is easy. I can run a successful event. You don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars to do it. I didn't. And you can run a 6-figure, a 5-figure, or 4-figure event. So if it feels like it's a ton of stuff, it really isn't. It comes down to step by step by step, drinking from a little water and then turning it on. Don't stick your head too far in because that will hurt. Right? But I want to share with you, is it okay if I share with you a way so that you don't feel overwhelmed and you don't feel like you're hopeless? This is how I have done it. For me, it's not just about content. It's about transformation. Yes, you do need the skills. You need the template. Yes, you need to organize it. I got off of a conversation even this morning with a client, and she's a good friend of mine, and she said, Tyler, I'm still struggling. And I said, you haven't focused on what is the critical piece for your business, which is the enrollment. And I said, enrollment is like breath to our bodies. Enrollment for business is like breath to our bodies. Breathing, if you stop breathing, you die. If you stop enrolling, your business dies. So a cool thing is if you can run an event and get good at enrolling people to your event and then enrolling people to your upper tier programs, now you have a real business. It's breathing and it's alive and it doesn't have to be painful. It is fun. The magic word is fun. So for me, the biggest changes has come through conversation. I'm a big fan. I used to avoid conversation. I hated conversations. I was the kid that would look out the window and hope no one talked to me. And I would cry when I came home after kindergarten. Seriously, ask my mom. And then when I married my wife, seeing all the victimhood that I'd lived through, parents going through so many divorces, I was terrified of conversations, which if you're in anything transformational, putting on events, you've got to talk to people. The dream, I get it. Let's just automate everything and people come to our funnels and fill our events, which can happen. In my experience, it happens after you've mastered the one-on-one conversation. It happens after that. So transformational breakthrough call. I'll share with you an opportunity here. I'm going to do some teaching along the way because these are still things that you need to do while doing your offer from the event, while filling your event. These are all things and pieces that you'll want to know as well. So here's a cool thing that you'll get for sticking around for this long. I'm going to open it up for questions at the end. We have so many things we can teach, but I want to teach to you the whole thing and then take up questions. So what you're going to get, one-on-one breakthrough call and personalized questionnaire. In this call, what we're going to do is if your focus is on an event, I would love to understand what your message is, who your target market is, what you're doing, what you've tried, what hasn't worked, and help you align yourself with your message and mission in going and sharing events. So let's say you've tried events, or let's say you've never tried an event. Then help you get that alignment so that you can step with the right foot forward and start getting some momentum. Maybe it's like, hey, Tyler, I'm putting on an event. Can you help me go through the entire event template? And if that's what you want, we'll do it. So it's going to be kind of tailored to your needs. I do have my own agenda, but if you have your own agenda, I'll do your agenda because this is about you. If I could just give you a workbook or an online course, I wouldn't, because here's why. Because honestly, the most valuable thing I give you is a one-on-one help. I've seen people go through presentation after presentation after presentation after event after event after event. It's not about content. It's about application and transformation. Application and transformation. Now, information is everywhere. What changes people is conversations and commitments, or application and transformation, right? So conversations and commitments. How long have you been waiting to achieve your personal dreams and business goals? This is a question I ask myself every day. Not every day, but I try to. Is if I'm resisting something, I ask, how long am I resisting this? How long has it been since I've not just confronted this and gone and getting my goal? These are things you need to ask yourself and ask your future clients. This is really good questions. Again, money replenishes, time does not. Money is a resource you can use over and over and over. So again, here's what you're going to get. You're also going to get our event template. And this is, we have a 3-day event template and a 1-day event template. When doing a 1-day template, your offer, if you're doing to strategy sessions, which is just a conversation, you can do it where your offer is straight up to a session and it can be paid, or I like to do what I call a no-show fee. So I'll have them put $10 down and say, if you don't show, I'm going to charge you $500, right? And that takes away a lot of the people who are the no-showers. The other piece is to offer a $2,000 product or lower at a 1-day event. That works well. Anything higher than that, you've got to be pretty dang good at offering, but anybody could sell a $2,000 program or a session to a conversation. And so that's a 1-day sell. At a multiple day sell, so let's say it's three days, I would do something between $5,000 and $100,000 and anything in between. And you can do any of those in a 3-day or more. 2-day, you can even do, 2 days as well. I like 3 and 4 days. Those are the more fun for me. And honestly, we're just ordinary people. Hey, I look like I'm kind of young. And if you ever see me, I got gaps in my teeth and I'm just a normal person. I have a normal wife. Actually, she's not normal. She's extraordinary. And I've got normal kids, I think. And we have a lot of fun, but it's worked for us. It's worked for normal, ordinary people. And so I believe that everybody can be extraordinary by choosing to do the things that you avoid. Which for me was conversations, investing in myself, doing the next thing even after investing in myself and seeing things not work, then that's extraordinary. Now, no more excuses. He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. Benjamin Franklin, thank you so much. Now, what you're going to get. So 2 tickets to our Connect event. Wouldn't it be cool to see this in person, to see it live? So if you want to come and experience this, because you'll see how I do it live. It's awesome, super easy. And I do not stress when I do my offers. It's laid back. I sit in a chair, some people talk. We say, hey, who wants a conversation? Stand up. People stand up, we converse, and we make an impact, and it's amazing. Very low conflict, very high transformation. So you get 2 tickets to our Connect event as well with this. So one-on-one breakthrough, event template, 2 tickets to our live event. This is 4 days, and you get to see it in process. And if you only got this one piece, just the event, it could totally change everything, or even just the conversation itself. To say, Tyler, I've got this emotional block, or I've got this logical block. How the heck do I even put on an event? And we can deep dive. And instead of spending a year going through courses and figuring out, well, we can get right to the root, figure it out, and help you switch it immediately. People pay us $1,000 just to attend the event, no joke. And so take notes when you're there. It's a great event, very high impact. And there's like 20 to 30 people in the room. So lower, higher impact. What you're going to get, again, all this jazzy stuff. I want to bonus you guys some things that I thought to myself, okay, what stopped me from putting on a successful event? One was mindset. One was I didn't believe that I was capable. And a lot of people will go on, put on an event. They'll invest the money, but they don't believe in themselves. They do not set themselves up for success. They set themselves up for failure. They expect failure. So instead of expecting failure, let's try a new philosophy. Let's expect success. Let's expect everything you do works really well. And that which doesn't gets refined and tweaked very quickly to where it works very well. Expect success. So Bridge to Unstoppable online course helps you get that. Helps, it's more than 7 different tools to break through limitations and create the space for the money to come into your life. I teach tools on higher power, teach tools like dowsing, tapping, different techniques that have helped me over the years let go of old beliefs and create new ones so I can actually hold my vision longer than 30 seconds, right? Say goodbye to your old fears. Again, you're going to get one-on-one conversation, 2 tickets to our Connect event, event template, Bridge to Unstoppable, super powerful course. If you have that, if you don't, it's a great course to get. And then the second thing I want to gift you for being here is the next piece, which is, this is the enrollment piece. Authentic Enrollment's online course teaches how to go find clients and enroll them. Because if you don't know that strategy, it's very difficult to fill an event, right? I went over some of the philosophy, but the how-to, I wanted to gift you as part of just being on here if you decide to move forward with us. So that's also an online course. It's about 3 hours of content. Okay, so it's not a ton of stuff, but it's very to the point. Here's how to do it. Go do it, right? How to easily and authentically enroll people. That's kind of that. It makes the sales process both, what is the key? Easy and exciting. I was sitting in the clinic as a Thai yoga therapist, and I remember I created this program for $850. It was 10 sessions with me, averaged out to be about $80 an hour. And to me, that felt like such a huge thing. And this person went through this transformation. I took through them, and they were like, this is amazing, Tyler. Thank you so much. You helped me so much. And I knew that they needed more. Like, I knew that that wasn't it. So part of me knew that I needed to offer. And in that moment, I froze. I physically started to tremble, and I had these tears come up into my eyes and so I just said, okay, thanks. Let's connect later, and thank you so much. And, we'll come back again. That's what I said. What I should have said is, if you liked this session so much, I know that true change takes commitment. And if you're open to it, I would love to talk to you about what it looks like to be able to help you achieve your XYZ goals that we just talked about in the session. so that you can make it happen and make it a reality. So it's not just a one-time fix, that this is permanent. Would that be something you'd be interested in chatting about? And they say, yeah, great. So I say, great, let's do it. Can we do it now? Or do we want to set up the time? And then I could actually go through the sales process so that they could come, right? So don't be afraid, let it be fun. Some people will take this info from here and they're going to go back to their old life. They're going to say, that was a great presentation. Tyler, you had some good energy. Maybe the microphone was a little off, or they give me feedback on this, and they'll say, gosh, they'll look for changes in other people, but they won't look for change in themselves. And they'll go back to their old way of living. They'll say, one day I'll put on an event. One day. But you are the kind of person who takes action and makes a dramatic impact. If you want to create a powerful event that truly transforms lives and is profitable, it comes down to a choice to say, I can do this. It's easy. So I'm going to gift you that Authentic Enrollments course to teach you, and that mindset piece to help you get out of that. So well over $9,000 worth of value here. Value is what you apply it. You know, if no one used this, it'd be worth, value be zero. But if someone uses this stuff, it's worth well over $9,000. Why? Because if all this did was to help you finally take action and on your dreams, would it be worth it? How many of you have ever said to yourselves, I'd really like to do an event on that? Or man, wouldn't it be cool to do a 3-day or 2-day or 1-day event? Why not? Why not let today be the day that you decide, why not? Why not do it? If this could help you create your first 5 or 6-figure event, would it be worth it? Even a 4-figure event. I'm good with 4 figures. 4 figures is nice. What if it got clarity on the most effective way you could grow your impact and income right now? Would that be worth it to you? So if this is what's one high-performing event worth to you, you need to decide this, because I had to make a decision when I started putting on events. What kind of event do I want to put on? And when I saw that people could make such an impact and make so much income and so many changes happening, I said, that's the kind of person I want to be. At first, I freaked out. I was like, how do you do that? Like, looks impossible. And then I said to myself what I've told you to think, I can do that. That's easy. I can do that. That's easy. I was sitting in an event saying that to myself over and over. I can do that. That's easy. I can do that. That's easy. And then within 3 months, I put on my event and made that first $12,500. So what if you held an event every quarter, every month, or every week? What would you pay to learn to do this? If you could even generate $5K at each event, let's say you did that once a month or once every other month. And on the low end, you just got $5K. What about on the high end? You started doing $200K, $500,000, and takes, only a few people hit up in the $1 million range. There's only like 1% or less of the speakers who do that. So you could be one of those as well, if that resonates with you and if that's what you want to do, if it's your mission. Not everybody wants to play that way, and that's cool. So you can see why people pay us $65K for our high-level training. We do a lot of this and mapping it out, building it all, hand-holding. So today's special offer, here's what you get. Here's everything you're going to get: a one-on-one breakthrough call with me personally, the event outline, 2 tickets to our live event, and the bonuses, the Bridge to Unstoppable, going to help you on your mindset. Bonus number 2, going to help you on your logic with enrollments. Together, well over 9,000. Today's special offer, bada bing, bada boom, $225. So if you would like to be able to master this, there's the link right here. I'm going to put this in the comment spot. But basically, for those of you listening, it's enrollmentmasters.com/transformational-event-breakthrough. So enrollmentmasters.com/transformational-event-breakthrough. $225, so you don't have to spend an arm and a leg. Why am I doing this? Well, because I believe that many of you have a 6-figure event inside of you. And that if I can talk with you and help you see it and make it real, give you some real strategies to do it, that'll be worth so much more. And I would love to get the testimonial to say, hey, for $225, I mapped out my 6-figure event. that's a pretty dang cool testimonial. And many of you will say, hey, I need some extra help. Can you help me? And if that's the case, we'll schedule another conversation outside of that, and we can go from there. But at the very least, I want to have a powerful conversation with you, help you get clear on what you're doing so that you do not struggle anymore. And you can get the event template, you can get that bridge to unstoppable, work on the mindset, work on the skill set, and make it work for you. So you basically got two choices here. You can do nothing, keep getting more of the same, which is cool. Some of you might just check out this information and get some perspective. And if that's what you need to do, that's great. I honor that. But the other thing is to take action and begin to achieve on your dreams today. Some of you have said, I've taken action, Tyler. I've done so many things. Well, maybe now is that last drop in the cup to say, this is the last piece that I needed. I needed to have someone talk to me who's done it through never having done it before and get some actual feedback to see, where am I stuck? What is it? Do I need to work on my mindset? Do I need to work on my skill set? Do I need to work on both? Or, hey, let's map out the event for you, right? So if you still have some questions about this offer or about anything we've covered, email us at support@enrollmentmasters.com. Okay, enrollmentmasters.com, support@enrollmentmasters.com. We will answer your questions. Anything you still have questions on. I'm going to open this up now. I just want to say thank you, first off, for being here. Again, here's that offer. And thank you for sticking around. Hopefully this has been transformational for you. It's been a lot of content heavy, okay? So thanks for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. If you guys have specific questions here live, I'm going to go ahead and open that up. But I would love to have this conversation again. If you're thinking about it, simple, $225. You spend this on chips and eating out in a month anyway, so might as well do something transformational. So I'm going to open this up. Let me put myself on video. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to put this in the comments for you guys so you can see the link as well. All right, so stop share. Okay, so any specific questions that you guys have here who are live? Now's the time, because I can be on here for a while answering specific questions about templates, about what you're doing, anything that you need help with or regarding the offer. We've only got a few people live, so a lot of people are going to hit up the recording. We got Shirley and Craig. Welcome, by the way. If you guys have any questions, you can unmute yourself or put in the chat box here and go from there. Okay, Craig. Yeah, Craig, great. So we'll chat. So thanks for joining. Hopefully you got some good value out of that. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. And for those of you who'd like to, again, move forward, click on the link, send it in the chat there. For those of you who'd like to get those bonuses, if you want to move forward, then we'll give you those bonuses as part of it. You'll get the event, the conversation, and those two bonuses for signing up today. So thanks so much. Been awesome having you. Hopefully you've got some perspective. One perspective can change a life. It did for me. So hopefully it does for you. Thanks again, you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.